Okay. Welcome to the Chamber Members Podcast. Today's special guest is Justin Lehman with Junior Achievement. We'll get to hear what this organization's all about and how they support our community. We'll be right back. First, a shout out to SBS Consulting Systems for supporting this week's episode. If your business needs to implement some process improvements, technology integration, or just needs some IT support, reach out to my friend Sean Hedrick at SBS Consulting Systems. They want your problem. Josh, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm really excited to learn more about Junior Achievement and the services they provide the community.
Yeah, happy to be here to share a little bit more.
Could you give us a brief overview of what Junior Achievement is and what they do?
Yeah, of course. So I think the best way I can describe JA is perspective and its opportunity. We have programming kindergarten through 12th grade that helps students learn about things in our three pillars: financial literacy, entrepreneurship, career readiness. Now, I say that, and obviously those are big concepts, K through 12. But at the end of the day, it's all about helping these students get the skill sets, the mindsets they need to be successful, understand the importance of budgeting, understand the importance of making smart financial decisions, the value of entrepreneurship in our community, how they could be one if they want to be one, or just taking that skill set into their career. And really, at the end of the day, uncovering their passions in life, figuring out what careers they want to be able to pursue, and help them understand there's a lot of great opportunities here in our community.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was fortunate enough to see you guys at the Business Expo, the Chamber's Business Expo, and it was just amazing to see all the different students and the businesses, the products and the businesses that they had built, and from the ground up, and how you guys kind of help them through that process. It's invaluable, really, that education. Yeah,
the company program and the students that go through that build businesses through the whole school year, the teachers, the volunteers, there's a whole support structure around that. That's actually one of our capstone programs at a high school level. If anyone has a chance to come out to the Business Expo again this year, we're going to be there again. So I encourage you to come out and just see what our programming is like for some of these high school students.
Yeah, it's cool. They had a lot of different businesses. I mean, you had kids creating whole board games and marketing that, and they had products they were developing. There's a lot of different stuff there.
Yeah, they do an amazing job. We had a company last year, 2 years ago now, Brainwave, out of North Canton, Hoover, that actually won our local competition and went on to win the national competition as well. And only 15 teams from across the entire country are selected to the National Junior Achievement competition for the company program. And for the last 10 years straight, a team from our area, actually out of Stark County, has actually been invited to the national competition. And 4 out of the last 6 years, students from our area have actually won the national competition.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's great. And all the way like patents if they need, and the business process and everything.
We have students who, through this program, when the program ends in high school, they will stop the business. They'll liquidate the business, but they have the choice to continue on if they want on their own outside of the program. And we've had multiple companies over the last several years actually continue after high school building this company. And we have board members who've helped set up LLCs and do all of this with them. It's amazing to see what these kids do.
That is. Yeah, that's so great. That's so great. Go ahead.
So how is Junior Achievement different from other supplemental educational programs?
Of course. I guess the way that I look at supplemental education programs in school is that every single one is extremely valuable. It's all stepping stones along the way. I think the biggest thing that separates Junior Achievement from maybe other supplemental education programs, it's a couple things. And first, I would say it really is all of our programs are designed to meet the standards from the Ohio Department of Education for the grade levels in which they're taught. So a lot of our programs will serve to help meet curriculum gaps within schools. Okay. For example, there's a new financial literacy graduation requirement. Every high school student now has to graduate with a full semester course in financial literacy. We have that programming, and we offer it for free. So awesome. All of our programming is free to schools, free to students. Part of my job is to go into the community and find people who believe in our mission and want to help support that, to fundraise to support that. But all of our programming is free. And the other thing I'll say is we have a whole team of individuals that go out to find volunteers from the community who can come into the classroom and bring those experiences of work, the workforce, to the educational side of things, bring it to life.
Yeah. And so you're not just learning 2 + 2, you actually see it. Okay, this is how I'm going to implement it in my life. This is how it's going to be useful.
Yeah. We always say our volunteers are our secret sauce because you have a different experience than I do. Andres, Sean, same thing. And you can come into the classroom and not only share your experience in the industry, but share your career journey. So every program has that element of career and work readiness, exposing students to different career pathways.
That's awesome. You kind of mentioned it before. You want to kind of go over the types of lessons or the areas of study that you guys kind of focus on?
Yeah, it's amazing. We have over 70 different programs, and they continue to expand every year, but they fall into 3 main pathways, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and career and work readiness. And as I mentioned, we have kindergarten through 12th grade. And in fact, we've actually expanded our mission to 18 to 25 now. That's a whole new thing for the future. Really cool. So a sneak peek for everybody listening here. But what I'll say with that is it's so amazing to see how those programs evolve throughout those pathways. So they're all designed to be hands-on, experiential. These students at early age, at elementary school level, you're learning about these concepts through games, activities, creating picture books, reading stories that all tie these concepts together, learning about needs and wants and how families can get jobs to be able to earn money to buy the things they need and want, and how families come together to create communities, and how entrepreneurs in our communities create these amazing businesses where families can get those jobs to earn the money to do this. And then as you get all the way up into high school, you talked about our company program already. We talked about some of the financial literacy programming that we have. There's really hands-on, high-level capstone-based programs that we have at a high school level that take those concepts at maybe an elementary level to a whole new level where students are really getting hands-on into building a business, literally making money running a business.
Yeah, I mean, that's just invaluable education. That's awesome.
So how are these lessons delivered? Do you have some that are virtual? Are they taught by teachers? I know you said you had volunteers that do some of the teaching. How do they get connected?
Yeah, of course. So when you think about our programming, it has evolved so much. Obviously, the pandemic changed a lot for many organizations. We have programming that is in the classroom and virtual. Primarily, our programming is done in the classroom. Okay. And prior to the pandemic, after the pandemic, that is really where I guess our bread and butter comes from. And it is volunteers coming into the classroom and teaching programs with the teacher in the classroom with them. And then we do have out-of-school programs. We have some major programmatic events, things like Junior Achievements Inspire Career Exploration Fair, some of the other things like we mentioned company program already. There's outside of the actual in-class program, there's outside of that events that take place. So when I'm thinking about volunteers, how they get involved, there's a lot of different ways they can get involved.
That's awesome. I wanted to say too that your guys' new office is amazing too. The one in Belden Village. I got to go to that opening there, and it's state of the art, and it looks like it's going to be a great resource for you guys there.
Well, the biggest thing that excites me about that is it's not only an office space for our employees to be able to support our mission, but it's an office space for students to come in and work on their companies. Yeah. So we've really invested a lot from that company program side of things and the entrepreneurship side of our programming. And we have the Burton D. Morgan Entrepreneurship Room in the back where students can actually come in and work on their companies. We just wrote a grant this fall. We're still waiting on a decision to try to add in other makerspace items as well. But right now, when students are building their business, it's not only in the classroom, but they'll be meeting after school. And that could all too often mean a Panera or somewhere else, which is great, but it might not be the most conducive place for brainstorming or other things you need to do. Yeah. So we have this private space that students can actually reserve in our building now where they can come in, work on their business and prototype their products, have sales meetings, everything you could possibly need in terms of running your business.
Nice. Now, if kids want to get involved, or if a parent's listening now and wants to get their kids involved, what are kind of the best ways to kind of get locked into it?
Yeah, of course. So I would say the best thing to do is to reach out to our staff. You can call our office at 330-433-0063, and anybody on our team can help to direct you in the best way to get connected. Primarily the way that we have worked as an organization, and as a nonprofit, you have limited resources, right? So we really look at working on larger scale partnerships with our school districts. So we'll meet with North Canton City Schools, Jackson. I mean, you name them. We work with so many schools across Stark County and across our footprint. But we'll meet with curriculum directors, principals, superintendents, understand where some of their needs are in terms of maybe curriculum gaps, and see how we can help fill those. And that'll turn into working with entire grade levels. That'll turn into working with some specific teachers in a business program. For individuals that are interested, I would recommend calling our office because, we're always looking for ways to expand our programming, but we also need volunteers to help deliver those programs as well. So there's those limited resources we always have to balance.
Yes.
So what does it cost? Is it all free, or is there certain ones that, certain programs that cost money, or?
Nope, all free. Everything's free. Every program we offer is free to schools, free to students. And that really comes from the generosity in our community. We have a lot of community foundations, a lot of corporate partners that sponsor events. J Inspire is a really cool program, and we ask a lot of companies to be a part of that, but they'll actually sponsor the event, not just to get their name out there, but because they believe in building a talent pipeline for the future.
Yeah, it's very important.
They're looking at it from the standpoint of how can we help impact these kids and give them the idea that there's so many great jobs right here in Stark County. I think about it like I spent countless days in Alliance growing up, and I had no idea Coastal Pet Products was there. I think about all these different organizations that are in our backyard that many people may not even realize exist. And they're these massive, amazing organizations that have jobs right here for students.
That kind of leads me into the next question, the career exploration program. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that and how that kind of works?
Yeah, of course. So I really am excited about this. So JA Inspire started a couple of years ago, actually in the middle of the pandemic. So that was fun. But now it's turned into this amazing in-person career exploration fair. It is not a job fair in any sense of the word. Our goal with this is to build talent pipelines for the future. So what we're looking at is every organization involved, we coach them through the concept of creating this career exhibit. We want them to design an activity, a game, some type of hands-on way to show the students what it is like in the day of a life in the career pathways within their company. And that could mean anything from a VR headset where someone's learning how to weld, to a flight simulator, to someone running an obstacle course, to someone intubating a patient, to anything you can imagine. We have at this time, the Hall of Fame Village coming up on March 7th will be our second year in person for JA Inspire here in Stark County. We have 3,400 students that will be at this event. We're right now at about 70 organizations. We're trying to get to 100 organizations. So for anybody listening, if you want to come out and help build a talent pipeline for the future, we need more organizations to represent career pathways for these students. And our goal between all of these is to just represent all of the different career pathways here in our community and in our region. And we really think about this from a regional perspective. You know, we really love Stark County. We're based in Stark County, but we cover 16 counties throughout the area. And at the end of the day, if we can find a way to get a student in Summit County to come to Stark County for work and vice versa, that's a win because that helps our region grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, it helps the business and it helps the individual, the students too, because just getting as many experiences as you can when you're young and trying to figure out where you want to be and what you want to do is so crucial.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, and these events are so cool. So not only did the businesses have exhibits, but we also have these career exploration stations. So we have other things that are built into this event where you're not only learning about career pathways, but you're helping to develop soft skills. So through the event, we have a Dress for Success activity where students will be racing through a bunch of coat racks. Goodwill's coming out to set up these really cool areas. They're going to be given this task of go get dressed for an interview. And here's a job you're going to interview for. And then tell me why you dressed like that for that interview. We have a resume writing and professional writing area where students are going to sit down and they're going to learn about just being able to communicate in a professional setting, because that's one of the things that is a real challenge for some kids, that they are so used to just communicating on social media. They don't understand the importance of just effective professional communication. We're going to have a VR headset area where students can go through dozens of career pathways. They can perform surgery. They can change oil. They can install solar panels, all through these short, interactive VR experiences.
That's pretty cool.
That really is.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned it takes a lot of volunteers, to make this happen.
Yeah.
Sort of resources. What kind of volunteers or partners you guys looking for, and how can they get connected to you?
I would say at the end of the day, when you're listening to this podcast, if you think the mission of this organization makes sense to you, you like it, you want to support it, you are the volunteer we need. And from the perspective of how they get involved, time commitments and all of that, really, there are so many ways to get involved with JA. The reason I say find a connection to the mission first is because you could be involved with JA in a short 30-second volunteer opportunity up to a full school year-long volunteer opportunity and everything in between. And in order to get involved, all you have to do is reach out to our office. I know with the JA Inspire event coming up at the Hall of Fame Village, a Center for Performance on March 7th, we need volunteers that'll be there on the day of the event to help with some of the logistics, help with some of these student experience areas. We need volunteers in the classroom. And there's a ton of volunteer opportunities that we have right now.
Awesome.
And then kind of going along with that, if someone wants to just kind of donate or, give a financial contribution, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, I would say definitely either give me a call. I mean, if your organization has a philanthropic priority in the community, wants to support the community and has a connection to what we're talking about today, give me a call. I'd love to come out and just hear more, because at the end of the day, we want to find the best way to get you involved. But if you're just someone who thinks this is such a cool organization, I just want to go on and make a donation, you can go to our website, which is www.ja.nco.ja.org. And there's a donation button right there. You can click on that and just make a donation. You can find us on Facebook. That'll give you a link right to it as well. Just search Junior Achievement in North Central Ohio. So there's a lot of ways you can go on and make a donation to support these students.
That's great.
So I know as a chamber member, we always like to support and promote each other. Are there any shout outs you'd like to give to fellow chamber members that help you guys out?
That is really hard to do because there are so many chamber members. I could say, how much time do you have? Because we could sit here for a while.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say there's so many chamber members that support us. It is inspiring to me. Maybe thinking about like AltCare, Altman, they do so much for our organization, have been involved with our organization for so many years. It just really is amazing to see the partnerships that have come out of Stark County. And there's so many organizations that are part of that. And I just can't thank everyone enough because we cannot do what we do without our volunteers, without our donors. We are a small nonprofit. We have limited resources, but at the end of the day, it's the passion in our community and the people that are a part of that, all these chamber members that have been a part of that over the years that make that possible.
It's wonderful.
Nice. Yeah, it's great. Love it.
Well, Josh, thanks for coming on the show with us today. We appreciate it.
Of course. I really appreciate it. I mean, I love getting to share the mission of the organization. It's something that's really close to my heart. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to help these students just as I think everyone who's a part of this organization. We want to help them succeed. And being able to just share what we do, it can mean one more volunteer. It can mean one more student. It can mean one more entrepreneur in our community. We found through our programming 143% more likely. That's how much more likely a student who goes through our program is to start their own business.
That's amazing.
So you might not understand what you do when you volunteer with the organization, but you could be making a lifelong difference for a student in our community.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's great.
Up next, we have our business tip of the week brought to you by SBS Consulting Systems.
Hi, everyone. Sean Hetrick, SBS Consulting Systems. The tip of the week this week, we're going to talk about IT. We're going to updates. Updates are really, really crucial. You might not think so, and you might always just click next, but there's a couple real good reasons for doing those updates. One is to prevent malware and spyware and viruses. If your systems are out of date, that's the easiest way for your system to get infected. And secondly, performance. And not only, if you're running a Windows computer, not only do you want to do the regular updates, but there's also a set of optional updates, which are driver updates, which a lot of times can fix slow computers, slow PCs, slow laptops, all that. You really want to make sure that's updated. You also want to make sure your network's updated. So if you need help, SBS Consulting System can help you with that. But in general, just make sure you look at that and keep that stuff up to date, and you'll see many performance improvements from that. Again, Sean Hetrick, SBS Consulting Systems.
Sean, thank you for the business tip of the week. All right, don't forget to check out the Canton Regional Chamber Commerce website, cantonchamber.org, and stay up to date on all the upcoming events. They have a full year planned.
Yep.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.